Won't be Ryan the Great, and today we're talking MLB free agency, guys. I know that this video is definitely out very, very late, but, the fact that Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery have not signed to any teams right now. I was waiting for them to sign, but they just, for some reason, haven't signed. Hopefully they don't sign after this video is 40 minutes after this video is released. The same thing happened with Justin Fields. Video gets released 45 minutes later. Justin Fields gets traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hopefully they don't sign at 45 minutes after this video gets released. But that's neither here nor there. I'll probably release videos on them when they get signed by whoever. We're just going to get right into this video. But before we get right into it, guys, make sure you guys subscribe with your post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother, The Great Blog. Make sure you go subscribe to my second channel at Around the Cod Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on X Around the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Around the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. And make sure you guys go follow me on Twitter at Around the Great Podcast. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the video. Let's roll that intro. Won't be Ryan the Great, and today MLB intercepted! The defensive line. What the hell are you doing? No effort whatsoever when it came to the defense. Bat, he is 0 for 2 today. Come on, Stotty. Stop! 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 Red slam! First pitch! Bring him in! Braxton! Stop! Ring that! Yes! Oh, damn. 1, 2, 3. What? Alright, let's start in the video. Also, I'm just kind of, as I do for most videos with free agency and stuff like that, reacting to the whole thing, I just read off ESPN's free agency tracker, so if I miss little deals here and there, it is my apologies. I'm just reading off this. I'm obviously not going to go in my notes and write down every single deal that happened. That's just that's just a waste of my damn time, and I'm sure you guys don't want to hear about minor league signings and stuff like that. But anyway, we're going to start off with the first move. Charlie Morton being brought back to the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta exercising its $20 million option on the right-handed starter. Listen, Atlanta trying to bring in some pitchers here. They feel that their hitting is good enough. I personally agree with them on that one. I think bringing in some pitchers and helping themselves out there would definitely not be the worst idea in the world. We have more Atlanta news. The Atlanta Braves receive left-handed reliever Aaron Bummer under a club control, while the Chicago White Sox get right-handed starter Mike Soroka, left-handed starter Jared Shuster, and shortstop Brandon Shoemake, infielder Nicky Lopez, and right-handed starter Riley Gowins. This trade, the Braves, trying to make some moves happen here, trying to get some pitchers that will help them out. Do I think Bummer's going to be a great pitcher for them? Absolutely not. Do I think he can maybe help out in some way, shape, or form? Could he compete? Possibly. Anyway, the Brewers acquired outfielder Jake Bauers from the New York Yankees for minor league outfielders Jace Abbott and Brian Sanchez. I think the Yankees realized that no superstars are coming to their team anymore, minus Juan Soto. So they're trying to get some prospects there. They're trying to build towards the future because right now they're not going anywhere. I've already talked about the Aaron Nola deal. Atlanta Braves add another reliever by agreeing to a $30 million 3-year contract with right-hander Reynaldo Lopez. 6 saves, 3.27 ERA last season, 83 strikeouts. Only 30 years old. This isn't a bad contract. I think the Braves, once again, just trying to get their pitching up because their hitting is definitely good. So that was their focus in free agency. I don't have a problem with that. Right-hander Lance Lynn and the St. Louis Cardinals have agreed on a contract with a club option that guarantees $10 million and reunites with the team. Reunite here, definitely not a bad contract here. 5.73 ERA. That was 43rd in the MLB. For a guy that, was 13-11 last season, 191 strikeouts. I don't think this is a bad deal at all. Pretty cheap deal because obviously pitching deals are through the roof now. Cardinals bringing in a half-decent pitcher. Kyle Gibson also heading to the St. Louis Cardinals on a 1-year, $12 million deal with a team option. He is very inconsistent. I will say Kyle Gibson, from what I knew him from the Philadelphia Phillies, But, when he has his games, he plays really, really well. I think this is a good move for the Cardinals. Once again, they feel that their hitting is good enough with Goldschmidt and Arenado. Do I agree with that? Not really. But, bringing in pitcher is definitely not the worst idea. The Diamondbacks acquire third baseman Gino Suarez from the Seattle Mariners. With the the Mariners getting Carlos Vargas and Sebi Zavla. Now, I think the Diamondbacks are doing a good job here. As I said after they lost the World Series, they don't have that veteran talent that I feel a team needs to win a championship. I said the same thing with the Dodgers. They don't have those role players, and they don't have that veteran talent. This is what the Diamondbacks are trying to do here. They're obviously going to have their core. They're going to have their young core. They're going to have their superstars. But you need veterans, and you need role players to win a championship. That is how it is in any sport. And it is no different in the MLB. I think this is a good trade here. The Diamondbacks trying to get their hands on some veteran players here. I think it's a pretty good deal. Right-hander Kenta Maeda and the Detroit Tigers are in agreement on a 2-year, $24 million contract. Tigers aren't really going anywhere here, as we know. So this isn't a good deal. This isn't a bad deal. Man's 35 years old. There's not really much that is going to happen here. Jason Hayward is returning to the Dodgers on 1 year, $9 million contract. I mean, not much happening here. I mean, he's 34 years old at the tail end of his career. I mean, 269 average, 15 home runs, 40 RBIs. It's a solid deal. Once again, role players are required to win a championship, so this is no different here. And a $9 million deal, not that bad. This is a very good deal here. I like this. The St. Louis Cardinals agreed to a deal with Sonny Gray. I really like this for the the Cardinals. I really like what they've been doing in free agency here. Sonny Gray, a 2.79 ERA. That was third in the MLB, 8-8 record, 183 strikeouts. I really like what Sonny Gray did last season. I really think he's going to produce well for the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals trying to revamp their pitching rotation. This is a very good move here. This can be one of your top pitchers. Garrett Hampson on the Kansas City Royals. That's really nothing. Right-hander Luis Severino, I think that's how you say his name, and the New York Mets have agreed on a 1-year, $13 million contract this season. The Mets not really doing anything. Obviously, they had a very down year last year. They're just trying to bring in anybody they can at this point because they are just, they are in the dump. Right-hander Nick Martinez and the Cincinnati Reds have agreed on a 2-year, $26 million contract that includes an opt-out after the first season. The Reds also not really going anywhere. They're just trying to get anybody they can. I know people don't really like Nick Martinez that much. I know we got a little bit of criticism from some people. I like Nick Martinez. I don't think he's a bad player. 3.43 ERA. Appeared in about, 60? I'm looking at the stats now. 63 games. 1 save last season. 106 strikeouts. You can't really go wrong with him. I think it's a pretty good deal. The Atlanta Braves acquired outfielder Jared Klenek, left-hander Marco Gonzalez, and first baseman Evan White from the Seattle Mariners for right-handers Jackson Kowar and Cole Phillips. All right, not really the worst trade in the world. I thought this was pretty good here for the Braves. 253 average, 11 home runs, 49 RBIs for Klenek last season. Then you also get another pitcher that the Braves are trying to bring in. Not too much going for him last season with the Mariners. Not much of a chance. Only played in 10 games. 4-1 record, so you can't really go wrong there. So the Braves doing a good job there. You got right-hander Eric Fed and the Chicago White Sox are agreement on a 2-year, $15 million contract. I thought he played really, really well last season. He went 20-6 with just a 2.0 ERA last season. He played in. Wait, where did he play last season? I don't know where he played last year. I don't know. He didn't play in the MLB, but he played well in some other league. But anyway, a rare Red Sox and Yankees deal here. The Yankees are acquiring outfielder Alex Verdugo in a trade with the Boston Red Sox for right-handers Richard Fitz, Greg Wissard, and Nicholas Judas. That's not really much going on here. The Yankees trying to bring in somebody. 264 average, 13 home runs, 54 RBIs. Decent role player for the Yankees, only 27 years old. He could maybe produce, not too sure. The right-hander reliever Craig Kimbrell and the Baltimore Orioles are in agreement on a 1-year, $13 million contract. The O's, they've been trying to boost their bullpen in the last coming seasons. Craig Kimbrell, as much hate as people really want to give Craig Kimbrell in Philadelphia, and he was obviously not going to return because I think the fan base would have completely exploded. I don't put as much blame on him as people like to do. Obviously, he deserves some blame, but I don't put as much blame on him as like people want to. I don't think he was used that right. I'm not trying to take him off the hook here, but I don't think he was really used right. So the O is not a bad move for them at all. I actually like it. Left-handed starter Eduardo Rodriguez and Diamondbacks are in agreement on a 4-year contract around $20 million per year. Once again, the Diamondbacks, trying to add some veteran talent here. Now, 13-9 record. He is 30 years old. What the hell am I talking? Oh, yeah, 13-9 record, a 3.30 ERA, 143 strikeouts last season. Obviously, the Diamondbacks, trying to add some more pitching here. They have some very good pitching already with Zach Allen, so on and so forth. So it's not a bad deal. The Yankees required I talked about the Juan Soto trade. Already in a different video. Infielder Jameer Cavalier, I think that's how you say his name, are in agreement on a 3-year, $45 million contract with ESPN. Sources tell ESPN. I think that, this is not a bad deal at all for the Reds. Once again, they're not really going to go in too many places. 251 average, 22 home runs, 70 RBIs. You can't really go wrong there. I think it's a half-decent deal, and, not really much going to happen. Mets doing nothing. Boston Red Sox secure outfielder Tyler O'Neill from the St. Louis Cardinals for right-handed reliever Nick Robertson and right-handed starter Victor Santos. Boston Red Sox, I don't really know what the hell they're trying. I don't know what they're doing. Are they trying to compete? Are they not trying to compete? I don't know what the hell they're trying to do. It is what it is. Dodgers add Ohtani. We already talked about that. Left-handed reliever Will Smith and the Kansas City Royals are in agreement on a 1-year, $5 million contract. Honestly, for a guy that, has a lot of experience, I think this is a pretty good deal. He played with the Texas Rangers last season, obviously won that World Series, 60 games played. A guy with playoff experience joining a younger team here, I think this would be very good for, guys who are trying to develop on the Kansas City Royals right now. I think it's a pretty half-decent move for a relatively low contract. Right-hander Seth Lugo and the Kansas City Royals are in agreement on a 3-year, $45 million contract. Now they're starting to spend a little bit of money here. For a guy that went 8-7 with a 3.357 ERA last season, do I think it's an overpay? Maybe. He is 34 years old right now, but obviously some pitchers are very old and getting big contracts. Verlander and Scherzer, guys like that, getting paid $40 million. Do I think it's a good trade? Or not good trade. Do I think it's a good signing? Possibly. I don't know if it's going to work out. It is what it is. San Francisco Giants, they got this guy from Japan. He was talking about going to the Giants. Hung Hoo Lee, 6-year, $113 million deal. Has an opt-out after 4 seasons. I don't really know this guy too well. Obviously, he's from Japan. He seems pretty good if he's getting $113 million. The only Japanese guy I was really looking at was Yamamoto, who obviously signed with the Dodgers. So that's really the only guy I was really looking at here in free agency. I don't really know much about this guy, but if he's getting $113 million, he's got to be solid. The Brewers have received a right-hander reliever, Taylor Clark from the Kansas City Royals for reliever Ryan Brady and infielder Cam Devaney. The Brewers, I don't really know what they're doing. Are they competing or they're not competing? I'm not necessarily sure. This trade doesn't really mean that much to me. Right-handed starter Tyler Mahle and the Texas Rangers are in agreement on a 2-year, $22 million contract. I'm not sure if this is really going to do anything for the Rangers because obviously they have their pitching rotation. Really not much is going to happen out here. This guy had Tommy John surgery last season. So it's, he's 29 years old, relatively young. It's not going to do much. Obviously, the Rangers have a lot of starting pitchers, so I don't think it's going to do much there. Right-hander Jack Flaherty and the Detroit Tigers have agreed on a 1-year, $14 million contract. Once again, the Tigers just trying to find anybody out there. Not really much going on for him. Not really going out there. I can't believe this trade. I don't know how the Dodgers did this. The Dodgers, Los Angeles Dodgers and Tampa Bay Rays are in agreement on a trade that sends right-handed pitcher Tyler Glasnow and outfielder Manuel Margot to the Dodgers for right-handed pitcher Ryan Pepia and outfielder Johnny DeLuca. And I think and then after Tyler Glasnow signed a 5-year, $135 million contract with the Dodgers. I don't understand this. Like, how did the Dodgers get this much pitching talent in one offseason? It makes absolutely no sense. 10-7 record, 3.53 ERA, 162 strikeouts. This man's one of the best young pitchers in the MLB. The guy's also 6'8". This guy's tall as hell. I don't understand how the Dodgers keep getting their hands on this much talent. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't know how they fleeced the. Now, obviously, they got some prospects out of it. The Rays, but the Rays were competing last year. Why the hell they traded Tyler Glasnow away? I just don't get it. Like it blows my mind to know that the Dodgers have Kershaw, Ohtani, Yamamoto, and now Tyler Glasnow. It just makes me so mad, man. It doesn't make me mad, but like it's just so annoying. The Royals are continuing to spend. They signed right-handed starter Michael Wacha are in agreement on a 2-year, $32 million contract. The Royals just overpaying really for anybody at this point. 14-4 record, 3.22 ERA. 32 years old, so 14-4 record, not the worst in the world. Do I think he was worth $16 million per year? I'm not necessarily sure. It is what it is. The Royals are just kind of trying to pay anybody right now. The Diamondbacks and outfielder Lourdes Gurriel have agreed on a 3-year, $42 million contract with a club option for the 4th season. I mean, it's a pretty good signing right here. Obviously, he's part of their core, and he's going to be there for a few years to come. I think he played half decent in the playoffs. Obviously, when he got to the Phillies series, he didn't play too well, and, ever since then. But I think he's a decent player. I think he'll be fine. Andrew McCutchen, who just hit 1 home run for the Pittsburgh Pirates last season. He's coming back on a 1-year contract. He just wants to stick around. He's obviously got a legacy with the Pirates. It really doesn't matter that much. New York Mets acquired right-handed pitcher Adrian Hauser and outfielder Tyrone Taylor from the Milwaukee Brewers for minor league pitcher Coleman Crow. The Mets just doing anything at this point. I mean, 8-5 record, 4.12 ERA for this guy last season. Not really much going on there, so it is what it is. I don't really know much about this bat they got. 234 average, 10 home runs, 35 RBIs. Not really much going on there. Probably just a decent role player. Dodgers signed Yamamoto. Already talked about that. This other guy, I guess this guy came from Japan, left-handed reliever Yuki Masu. And the San Diego Padres are in agreement on a 5-year, $28 million contract that includes opt-outs after the 3rd and 4th season, and an injury clause that can convert the 5th year into a club option. This guy must be half-decent from Japan. He got a $28 million contract. Not too bad. The contract could be undervalued because of 5 years, $28 million. You don't really hear that much, that kind of value anymore. It is what it is. It's pretty decent. Catcher Mitch Garver and the Seattle Mariners on an agreement. I mean, Garver obviously coming off that World Series win, getting a nice contract here, 270 average, 19 home runs, and 50 RBIs. Half decent season for him. I think he played pretty well for the Texas Rangers. I think this is also pretty good. 2-year, $24 million, got a decent deal. Right-hander Lucas Giolito and the Boston Red Sox are in agreement on a 2-year, $38.5 million contract. The Red Sox, I don't know what they're doing. Are they trying to compete? Are they not trying to compete? Lucas Giolito, I think he's a half-decent pitcher. Wasn't he available in the trade market last year? 18-15 record, a 4.88 ERA. Not the greatest in the world, but had a 204 strikeouts last season. I think there's definitely room for improvement there. He's only 29 years old, so he can definitely improve with his record and his ERA, but it's not the worst in the world. Where the hell did my free agency tracker just go? What the hell? Okay, I just lost my whole thing here. Anyway, let me try and get back to where I was here. Oh my goodness. Here we go. The Atlanta Braves acquired left-hander Chris Sale from the Boston Red Sox for infielder Vaughn Grissom. Listen, I took my podcast partner Cole. He sent me a video of Chris Sale pitching for the Atlanta Braves. I said, Cole, he's gonna get hurt again. It's not gonna matter. If he gets hurt again, it's just not going to matter at this point. Nobody cares anymore, I feel, about Chris Sale. He's obviously a really good pitcher when healthy, but he's never healthy. A 6-5 record last year with a 4.30 ERA, and he was injured. 20 games last year. He only played 2 games in 2022, 9 in 2021, and only pitched in 20 games in last season. This guy is just really not what he used to be. This trade doesn't, I understand what the Braves are trying to do here, but I just don't like it. The Mets are center fielder Harrison Bader, and the Mets agreement on a 1-year, $10.5 million contract. I mean, once again, the Mets just trying to get anybody at this point. I don't think really anybody wants to go to the Mets, so it is what it is. San Francisco Giants and Seattle Mariners are in agreement in a trade that will send former Cy Young winner Robbie Ray to the Giants for outfielder Mitch Haniger and right-hander Anthony Del Scafani. I mean, once again, Roby Ray, former Cy Young, I hope I said his name right, former Cy Young winner, obviously did nothing this past season. Only played in one game for the Seattle Mariners. He was just, nothing really happened there. So it is what it is. He gets a chance. Sean Manana and the New York Mets have agreed on a 2-year, $28 million contract that includes an opt-out after the 2024 season. Once again, the Mets are just paying anybody at this point. One save, 4.44 ERA last year for this guy. 37 games played. It's not the worst in the world, but, the Mets are just trying to get anybody at this point. I can't believe this. Again, how do the Dodgers keep doing this? Outfielder Tescaro Hernandez and the Dodgers are in agreement on a 1-year, $23.5 million contract. I just don't get it anymore. How did the Dodgers keep doing this? 258 average, 26 home runs, 93 RBIs. I just don't get how the Dodgers keep adding all these all-stars here. It just makes absolutely no sense. They're obviously everybody's World Series pick. I'm not even going to say anything anymore about the damn Dodgers because it's just so annoying at this point. The Chicago Cubs and Japanese lefty Shiota Imanga have agreed on a 4-year, $53 million contract that has several prohibitions, including team's option to extend the contract after both years 2 and 3 to $80 million over 5 years. The Cubs are, and then here's trade. The Cubs are acquiring third baseman Michael Busch and reliever Gensi Almonte from the Dodgers in exchange for a pair of toolsy teenage prospects, left-handed starter Jackson Ferris and outfielder Zier Hope. So, half-decent players that, just trying to, I guess just get into their role. Obviously, nobody's going to get into a role with the Dodgers. The Yankees signing right-hander Marcus Stroman. They're in agreement on a 2-year, $37 million contract that includes a vesting player option. Yankees just trying to get anybody, I guess, again. Marcus Stroman, he's obviously good, but he's 32 years old. He played all right last year. 10-9 record, 3.95 ERA, 119 strikeouts. Nothing really going on there. The Yankees are just, I don't know. They're just trying to hang on, I guess, at this point. It is what it is. Oh my goodness, I lost this thing again. What do you call it? And now we're going to, here we go. Right-hander Jordan Hicks and the San Francisco Giants are agreement on a 4-year, $44 million contract. This is a very, very good signing. Because when you see that how much pitchers are getting paid, and when you look at Jordan Hicks only getting paid $11 million for the San Francisco Giants, a team that, is hanging on, I guess, if you want to say here. I think this is a very good move for the San Francisco Giants. The man's only 27 years old, a 3.29 ERA last season. I really think he's going to do a very good job for this. A very undervalued contract. I really like it. Why do I keep losing this? This is actually annoying. We're losing where I'm at. The Toronto Blue Jays have agreed on a 4-year, $32 million deal with Cuban right-hander Yao Rodriguez. I guess he's half decent. Now, this is another annoying one. Star closer Josh Hader and the Houston Astros are in agreement with a 5-year, $95 million contract that contains no deferrals. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. I didn't even know the Astros were in contention to get Josh Hader, and yet they somehow do it. My biggest criticism to the Houston Astros coming into the playoffs was them not being able to, have the best bullpen in the universe and have those sort of closers. Now they completely fixed that problem with Josh Hader. 33 saves, 1.28 ERA, 85 strikeouts, and he's going to one of the best teams with one of the best bullpens with some of the best relief pitchers in the MLB. This is unfair. I can't anymore, man. Let's see what else happened here. We have right-hander Robert Stevenson and the Los Angeles Angels are in agreement on a 3-year, $33 million contract that includes a conditional option that would be triggered if Stevenson misses a particular amount of time due to an elbow injury. Not really much going on there. They're just trying anything, the Los Angeles Angels, just to get anybody at this point. Outfielder Joey Gallo and the Washington Nationals are in agreement on a 1-year, $5 million contract. Joey Gallo really fell off, man. The Yankees just did not work out for him, and it really diminished his value. It is what it is. He's gonna, $5 million on a contract for one season is not bad at all. It's just a shame that he could have been making a lot more money. Los Angeles Angels continue their offseason long pursuit of bullpen help and a 1-year, $9 million contract. Matt Moore, once again, the Angels really just kind of bringing players in within. So it is what it is. Let's see, now I really don't want to have to end up talking about this move. First baseman Rhys Hoskins and the Milwaukee Brewers are finalizing a 2-year, $34 million contract with an opt-out after the first season. I mean, if you're the Brewers, this is a very good move because, Rhys Hoskins is obviously, how do I say it? With Rhys Hoskins, it's either he's really, really hot at one point or he's really, really cold at one point. That's what I always got from his Phillies career. Obviously, last season, 2 years ago, he really helped us get to the World Series. He had a bunch of home runs that really, really helped us. And I really think that Rhys Hoskins is a very good player. It's a shame to see him go. But the Phillies wanted to move forward with Bryce Harper at first base. I know what they're doing here. They know what they're doing, fill it up, the Phillies. It is a shame. I'm glad he's getting a lot of money. Obviously, if nothing works out for the Brewers, he can go and, try and get another contract. But, $22 million, definitely not a bad deal at all. If he performs well, he can maybe, stay for another season and then potentially get another a bigger contract. So I really like this for him. I really hope he does well because, I think Philly always liked him. There were people, obviously, that, didn't really like him that much. There obviously were up and down moments, but I always really liked Rhys Hoskins. I had his jersey at one point, and I don't really get too many jerseys of guys until they sign contracts. But, I really like him. So I hope he does well for himself there. Texas Rangers and free agent relief pitcher David Robertson have agreed on a 1-year deal in the $11 million to $12 million range. Listen, everybody knows how I feel about David Robertson. In his first stint with Philadelphia, I just could not stand the guy. They brought him in as such, a big-time free agent, and I hate when teams do that and it doesn't work out because they give him these big press conferences and they give him all this media attention, and then all of a sudden, they just don't perform. Like, I hate when teams do that. When he came back, it just irked me. Like, I just had no faith in him. He's getting his money now. He's on the tail end of his career, so I can't really blame him for trying to go get his money, trying to ring chase at this point. It is what it is. Good for him. Jock Peterson and the Arizona Diamondbacks have agreed on a 1-year, $9.5 million contract that includes a mutual option for 2025. Once again, the Diamondbacks trying to add some, some veterans here. That's what I've been saying they needed to do, so they're doing that there. The Baltimore Orioles have acquired former Cy Young winner Corbin Burns in a trade with the Milwaukee Brewers that gives up Joey Ortiz, left-hander DL Hall, and the 34th pick in the 2024 MLB draft. Now, this is a very good deal for the Baltimore Orioles. A team that really they played well in the regular season, but when they got to the playoffs, they just didn't have that experience. They didn't have any of those all-stars that could really step up. This is what they're going to get here in Corbin Burns. Obviously, a former Cy Young winner, has produced very, very well for the Milwaukee Brewers in his time. I think this is a move that is really going to work out because the Orioles are going to make him, one of their key features. I really like this move. The Dodgers bringing back former National League MVP Clayton Kershaw. I already mentioned it earlier. The Dodgers with one of the best pitching rotations. He doesn't have to be Clayton Kershaw of old, but he does have to be somewhat decent if the Los Angeles Dodgers are going to compete. I think that takes a lot of pressure off him. Infielder Ahmed Rosario and the Rays are in agreement on a 1-year, $1.5 million contract. Not really much going on there. It's a half-decent move for the Rays. Not really much going on. Infielder Cody Bellinger and the Cubs have finalized a 3-year, $80 million contract. And this is the guy that really wanted a lot, over $100-something million. He really wanted a lot of money. I don't think he was expecting to only get this type of money here. It is what it is. I think he obviously was on a prove-it deal last season. He's getting a lot more money than, teams probably would have expected him to get. The Cubs, I really like what the Cubs are doing. They're really building for the future here. I really like what the Cubs are doing. And bringing back Bellinger is definitely not anything that's going to hurt you. Matt Chapman finalized a guaranteed 3 years, $54 million contract with the San Francisco Giants. That deal includes opt-outs of the first and second year of the contract. Not really much going on here. The Giants spent a little bit in free agency. They didn't do too much. But this move will hopefully work out for them. But yeah, that'll do it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe with the post notifications on. If this video kind of seemed, not analyzing that much. I kind of only analyzed the biggest things here. I really didn't want to bore you guys with, a 50-minute video with me and literally analyzing, full on analyzing every single move that happened, because that would have just been boring at one point. I kind of just gave analyzation to, the bigger moves and kind of just talked a little bit about the smaller moves. I didn't want to bore you guys with that. But yeah, make sure you guys go subscribe to my Bro Leader Vlogs. Make sure you guys subscribe to my second channel at Run the Cod Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on X or Renegade RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Renegade RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. Make sure you guys go follow me on Twitch at Renegade Podcast. And as always, Ryan the Great out. Peace.